Hello and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all those listeners out here. It's our first episode of our third season of The Unorthodox CEO. I am Steve Pickering and I am the CEO of Sussex Beds, and today we are joined by Shane Nye, our tech guru, our tech overlord, our IT manager.
Yes. That's a better word.
Welcome, Shane. Welcome, Shane. So we're going to really talk in binary for the whole of this. Code, anything. So, we're going to be talking to Shane about his journey through Sussex Beds, because you didn't join Sussex Beds as IT, and we'll be looking at how you progressed through and the importance of finding your seat within the business. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how people develop and what we do to bring people through in Sussex Beds, and also how you found your passion for IT.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. So don't forget, before we get deep into conversation, to hit that subscribe button. You can catch all future episodes out there. So you don't want to miss none. So, there we go. So, hello, Shane.
Hello.
It's been a long time coming. We seem to have made appointments to bring you in, and it's not happened for whatever reason. Children being sick, me forgetting, all sorts of reasons. But here we finally are with Shane in the hot seat. Yeah. So, Shane, tell us about, I suppose, start with your life before Sussex Beds. Growing up.
There wasn't a life before Sussex Beds. How far back do you want?
Well, your childhood, your schooling, give us an overview. We don't have to go into like the creation of Earth and dinosaurs coming and going, but just give us an overview.
I mean, obviously, I've been pretty local forever. I was born in Germany. But I was English.
That's not local. So, did you know Shane was born in Germany?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
So my dad was in the army, and he was in Germany at the time, stationed in Germany. I was born there, and I think it was less than, I was only there like 10, 11 months, and then we came over. And then normal growing up. Yeah. Went to primary school in Eastbourne, went to secondary school in Eastbourne, and I did media production as like my GCSEs. Went on to college, did media production for it was BTEC at the time, but equivalent A-levels and stuff. Did film studies, and then I went to uni and I specialised in audio production, which is where I started to get a bit more technical with things and software and kind of development and stuff like that. And then during uni, I had a baby, and I was like, "That's a good idea. Let's do babies."
Babies and uni
at the same time, and working 32 hours a week, and then uni full time. And then I was like, I need a baby on top of that as well.
Life wasn't busy enough.
Yeah, it wasn't busy enough. And then so that, and then once I finished uni, I kind of worked freelance for a little bit, doing audio production, and it was all right. Like the money was fine, but it just wasn't consistent enough for me and the time that at the time, and there was a lot of traveling and stuff. So I kind of just fell back into my kind of the job I was working when I was at college and at uni, which was at David Lloyd, and I was there for quite a period of time, and I decided eventually that it was time to move on. Yeah. And I spent quite a while actually looking for the right kind of match, and I kind of did interviews with various places. But then in 2016 I did an interview with a lady named Sue and a man named John. and then I waited. I remember they said, "We'll let you know by the end of the week," and it was actually, they were 2 days late, and I thought I didn't get it. And then John rang me up and said, "We have offered the job that you interviewed to someone else." And I was like, okay. They went, however, we really liked you, and actually we want to fit you in somewhere. So do you want to come work in Portslade? And I was like, yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't actually know where Portslade was at the time.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I had no idea where it was. And I said, oh, okay. I said, whereabouts is that? And John said, and this is a fib on John's part, because he said it's just on the other side of Seaford. And I said, and I knew where Seaford was, and I thought, that's not too bad. I can do that. And then I texted my ex-partner, obviously, who was my son's mother.
Yeah.
And I said, I've got a new job. It's going to be a bit chaotic, like, but it's just on the other side of Seaford. And she goes, no.
It is on the other side of Seaford.
It is on the other side of
Seaford. But
an
hour on. But
it was well worth it. And again, I think
it's quite funny though that John, our head of transport, the other side of Seaford. Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, so I ended up working with Ian, and that's kind of where my
started your career.
Journey started, really.
So what really appealed? I'm interested. So I mean, you were educated. Yeah. What was it that appealed to join Sussex Beds?
So it's obviously a local business, and within kind of at the time, obviously it was predominantly Sussex. The business is relatively well known. But it was actually more the job title more than anything else.
Which was?
And at the time it was sleep consultant.
Ah.
And again, it wasn't something I assumed it was kind of either sales related or kind of related with beds. But I thought, well, that sounds fun. I like sleep.
I'm good at sleep.
Yeah, I'm quite good at that. So I'll give that a go. And it was. And John said to me the only reason he hired me was because I had a tweed jacket on.
That was it.
He said, well, no, it wasn't. That wasn't the only thing. He said, you were the only person to turn up with a tweed jacket and elbow patches.
Yeah. Fair enough. And you touched on, so you have a son.
Yeah, Henry.
And you also have a fiance.
I do now have a fiance, yes.
You do now have a fiance, and your fiance
works for Sussex Beds.
You didn't actually meet at Sussex Beds.
No, we went to school together.
Yeah.
And then we worked at David Lloyd together. And then I came and worked here, and she stayed at David Lloyd. And then she came and worked here, and now we work together again.
And we better let everybody know.
Yeah.
So, because you have met, listeners, Shane's fiancée, which is Sarah, our HR manager.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's that like, working together? And
yeah. I mean, I think, obviously, especially within Sussex Beds, there's lots of instances of couples, especially within the office, obviously, looking at you and Paula.
Yeah.
John and Julie, but obviously Julie's in a different shop.
Yeah.
Sarah and I have always kind of worked together since when did I join David Lloyd? 2007? What? Maybe.
Yeah.
So we've always been in a working environment together, and I think it's almost a testament to our relationship because, not all relationships last and people don't work together.
No.
We've been together 10 years.
Yeah.
And nothing.
There's
no real negative things that come from work. If anything, it's actually quite nice because we get to drive home together.
Yeah,
and
debrief.
And at lunchtime we get to have lunch and stuff.
Yeah.
So that kind of element of it actually I think is really, really positive.
Yeah.
The only downside to it sometimes is things like holiday.
Yes.
Trying to make sure that, because obviously I have a relatively pivotal role and Sarah has quite a pivotal role. So if you want to go somewhere, we both generally book holiday together.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, both HR and IT have both gone.
Closed.
Yeah, so we're closed for business for the next 10 days.
Yeah.
But no, it's good. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
No.
I can't imagine now and working with her for so long, not working with her. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it's really handy, especially when it comes to holiday. She can
sort it.
She can not necessarily. She doesn't break any rules, but I'm very, very unorganised, and
we're not saying a word.
When it comes to obviously making sure everything is booked,
we're creatives.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think me and you, Shane, are from the same book, aren't we? Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like nice shiny things. But
Yeah, I like the shiny things. In fact, we like shiny together.
Yeah.
And luckily we have partners who are very good organisers.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's one of those things. You need two sides of the same coin. You can't both be the heads. One person has to be the heads, and the other person has to be the tails.
Yes. And we're definitely the tails.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I couldn't fault it. I would recommend it for anyone who wants to try it.
Yeah.
It's great. I think if Josh ever comes down,
IT.
Join the team.
Yeah. Hi, Josh, if you're listening. He will be. Yeah. So, sleep consultant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how did that go?
It was all right.
Actually, I think it was more than all right.
I did okay. I don't think I was ever going to be like the best salesperson in the world. And I don't think, and again, it's the whole culture thing with Sussex Beds. It was never about, selling someone a bed. It's all about obviously selling them kind of a good night's sleep, or the best possible night's sleep that person can get.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those things. I got on with sales. I enjoyed it. There was obviously days that were really, really good, but there was also days where, like, I really like to kind of do things all the time.
Yeah.
And in the store, like you go in, you do everything, and sometimes there is a little bit of downtime between customers, especially like when there's bits going on. And like for me at the time, that was like the one thing that was the only real kind of thing I struggled with, and like my mind would start to wander, and I would look at other things and all that sort of stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, it was. I mean,
because you then moved on to being a store manager as well, wasn't it? So it wasn't just
that was So I don't know if you remember with that. So I was working in Port Slade. I think I'd been in Port Slade for maybe a year or so.
Yeah.
And I worked with Ian. And I actually, I really, really enjoyed working with Ian. I think he was a really great. What's the word?
Leader.
Yeah. He's really good at kind of showing you how things need to be done, and this is how everything needs to go. And yeah, I'd learned a lot from Ian, and I was working in East Grinstead one day, and I heard that the current manager of New Haven had left, and I popped you an email and said, because I didn't expect to be offered or even be kind of considered for a management role, only after kind of working for the business for a year or so. And I just sent you an email and said, in the interim between you hiring someone and getting them in, I said I'll happily cover the shop. And then eventually it turned out that I was going to go there and manage it anyway. Ultimately, which was great.
Yeah. And how did you find that? Was that your right seat?
I don't think that was the perfect seat for me. And again, I learned obviously skills from that role.
Yes.
But ultimately, I still don't think it was quite the right place.
No. Again, was it the downtime and not enough
New Haven
stimulation?
Exactly. I think, it's one of those things. It's just, you get everything done, and I think your mind always starts to wander a little bit, especially if, there's nothing kind of pressing. And it's one of those things, especially working in IT, I find I do my best work when I'm under the most pressure.
Yeah.
So when something's really, really gone wrong, or you're really on a deadline to get something done, I quite often find that's when you pull the cat out of the hat and you crack on and get it done. Whereas there's never that kind of, I wouldn't say pressure, but there's just never that drive where you've got to get something done by X time, or something else really important doesn't happen.
Yeah. So let's talk about, that's quite a shift from sales, shop floors, dealing with people, and then a move to IT. And it wasn't directly into IT originally, was it?
It was e-commerce.
Yeah.
So we had COVID, and obviously we had all that time off, and we obviously saw a really big influx in online sales.
Yeah.
So the original plan obviously was was for me to come on board and join the e-commerce team as, you know, kind of the start of the sales team, really. And I did enjoy that. I think, again, trying to sell a bed on the phone is quite a difficult task because when you're in the store and you're trying to sell someone good sleep, one of the best tools you have is the bed.
Yes.
And getting someone to try it and lay on it, and ultimately that is the best way for it. But some customers, their circumstances, they can't do that. So it's just trying to find a solution on the phone that kind of helps them get the right product, really. And even that, I think, was great. And that was obviously when Sarah and I started sort of almost working in the same space together.
Yeah.
And again, I think the only real the thing I had, like, again, it's not a downside, it was just an observation that I had at the time, was we was doing sales and all that sort of stuff, but there was still quite a fair amount of downtime.
Yes.
So I found myself tinkering with other
Fill
things.
in that downtime.
Yeah, with other things. And like, so I started learning how to, a lot of kind of the things that Matt gets on with in terms of like Google Sheets and Excel formulas and stuff like that, just because I find it quite interesting. And at the same time, you know, Sarah and I would do our kind of debrief drive home, and, you know, obviously being in HR, there's quite a lot that, you know, she can't talk about, but she's always had a relatively busy and robust day. And I go, oh, well, I've rung a couple of customers, and I did this quite nice sale, and I had a lovely chat with this lady, or, you know, this gentleman, and yeah, just there was still kind of quite a lot of time where I felt I could be doing something more.
And I think really you're giving an indication of your personality as we've been speaking, like that inquisitive, that curious. What can I? Well, let's pull that apart. And that I think led, didn't it? This downtime, and you've got e-commerce, and what's the back of this website do?
Yeah, I mean, to put it in perspective, before I joined Sussex Beds, when I worked in David Lloyd, I worked in one of the bowling alleys that they had, and literally my job was to take machines apart and put them back together again.
Yes.
And I kind of, ever since then, I've always found myself, if I don't really understand how something works, I really like to try and take that thing apart, try and figure out how it works, and then put it back together again and see if it still works, kind of thing. Yeah. And then, that's just kind of grown and grown and grown into what it is now, really. Which
for some people is, whoa, no, if it's not programmed, I'm not going to touch it.
Yeah.
You're almost the opposite, isn't it? I want to. What's the inner workings of this? And do you think that's where it sort of sprouted onwards?
Yeah. So again, when I joined the website, it was fine. There was nothing innately wrong with it, but there was certainly a lot of opportunities for improvement.
Yeah.
And it was just almost not frustrating, but just kind of, and I think we even get it now sometimes, where we really want to try and do stuff with it, and we're held back technically because, you know, we just don't know how stuff works, we don't know how we should do things, and I still think even now there's a lot of learning that can be had by taking something and almost breaking it, not necessarily in a live environment, but taking something and having it for a couple of days and just absolutely pulling it apart and figuring out what's going on behind that, how it works, and then trying to reconfigure it in a way that would work better for the business.
So website, e-commerce, IT manager, and I guess really the catalyst of that, really immersing yourself in IT, was when we started and took us a business through the IT change. And that's where you really leapt into your own the seat that really
which is what I'm in now, which is where I think I'm happiest. So we obviously, when we moved over from retail systems to NetSuite, there was a whole process of kind of almost the same thing of kind of putting bums in seats in that project, if you remember. So we had a big meeting, and you know, John was going to be in charge of, you know, the logistical side of things. We had Josh that was in charge of making sure that all the sales processes worked. And the only thing that I initially was responsible for was the website connector. Which, we're still working on today. But a big part of that was understanding how your ERP platform, which has had all your sales data and your accounting information in it, how it connects to external systems. And in order to have those conversations with the company providing that connector, you needed to then go away and figure out how all of it worked. Because it's all well and I have a bit of a bugbear with Google Teams meetings with technical team, and they rightly or wrongly they will talk technical to you, and you go, yep, fine. And I had one or two of those meetings, and I came out and I was in there for hours, like 3-4 hours, and I come out not feeling any more informed than I was when I went in, because it was just way over my head, and I didn't like that feeling, so I went away and I spent a lot of time figuring out what it all meant and kind of what the impact was, and the kind of a lot of the inner workings and things, which led to then me doing courses and all this sort of stuff, and then it kind of grew from there, because once you learn how that worked, everything inside NetSuite becomes a lot simpler. Because if you're trying to connect something external to something internal, all of a sudden everything that's already in there is a lot easier. Then I started working on helping other departments, and then eventually it kind of grew to being the IT manager, which is great.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how that whole progression, but you almost needed all of those steps, because I think where you really gained power is knowing what the teams on the front end of the business need. You understand our products, you understand the customers, and then you learn e-commerce, but having all of that background knowledge to then learn the IT. Whereas, if you try and outsource, they don't know about the products and how that works. You've got that almost 360 view of what's required, and that's probably why you've really excelled in that seat.
It is really interesting when you speak to third party people, and they come to you with a solution which is kind of almost an out of the box thing. It's their standard service. They go, we'll plug it in and we'll see what it does, and it seldom is ever a perfect match, and you're almost always going backwards and forwards with third party suppliers of software or whatever, just to make those fine tuning kind of elements, just to make it really work for you as a business. Because obviously NetSuite, we have NetSuite, and the great thing about it is it's so customizable in terms of you can really make it work for your business. But then that also means that a lot of these kind of third party kind of attachments that you can add to it, quite often, the things that you have to do to make all of that work, you have to then make those same adjustments to those as well. So it's fun, it's great.
And I think also I think this is highlighting the benefit of in-house skills, isn't it? Not just IT or with yourself, but we have our own in-house marketing team. We have our own in-house print facility that allows us. We've spoke about that in various podcasts earlier in the seasons, and that ability to have it in-house is so powerful. And outsourcing is great, but there's nothing like having the skills here to tap into right here and now. No, that's really, really interesting. Thank you, Shane. So, working with Matt and Chris, it says here, as a prompt. So,
all right.
So you've now got a small team together.
Yep.
Yeah. There's three of you. How's that work?
It's good. I mean, obviously, I'm kind of in the middle. Matt's in charge, and then it's me, and then it's Chris. Obviously, Chris has only recently joined us, And he's only with us a few days a week, and he kind of just helps me out with a lot of kind of the, I wouldn't say manual labour, but a lot of like kind of the big mundane jobs where you're kind of just rinsing and repeating the same process for kind of, 4 or 5 hours. I think we're still finding our feet with it in terms of like, we've not long started like level 10s and stuff again.
Yeah.
So I think it's just getting that a bit more girth around that in terms of just making them work as efficiently as possible. I really enjoy working with Matt. I think out of all of the line managers I've had, I think me and Matt have the best kind of rapport. Nothing to say anything against any previous line managers. I mean, I really enjoyed working with Paul.
Briefly, you were with me, and that was a nightmare, wasn't it? It was, because we were we were all over the place.
We were just too shiny, it's what it was. There was too many really big ideas.
Yes.
And not enough time to do all of them.
Exactly that.
And I think Matt, and again, we have similar kind of interests, so when it comes to actually kind of socially between us, I think it works quite well. And in the same way professionally, I think Matt is very good at driving me in the right direction. He'll go, there'll be all these great projects, and I'll say, this is everything that I want to get done this week, and he goes, can you really get all of them done this week? And I'm like, it's like 3 months worth of work, but I will definitely have it done by Friday. And he'll go, no you won't.
No.
And he goes, how about we do this bit and you get that done by Friday? And I'm like, okay, fine.
All right.
Which one is the most important right now? And I think that's the thing is, I like doing everything. Like if someone gives me a big plate of jobs and says you need to get these done at some point this year, I will go, okay, fine, I will have them done by Friday. I won't.
No.
But the intention is in my mind, I can see how how everything would work. And I can go, I can see how I can build all of those. And I don't take into account how much time it's actually going to take me to set that thing up.
No.
Because I can already see it. I can see how I can visualize it and go, right, that's how I've envisioned that thing working. I've got to make X, Y, and Z, and I've got to connect them like this. Okay, great. And in my mind, it's quick.
Instant,
But actually, my fingers aren't that fast.
No.
And it takes a little bit longer. Then we've got Chris. Chris is a new challenge for me in a positive way, because I've never had to train anyone before.
No.
And I've never, even when I managed the New Haven shop, it was a solo man shop, so I never had to manage any team. So that has been a new challenge, and quite often he comes up to me and goes, all right, and I go, and he goes, what do you want me to do? And I'm like, oh yeah, I need to give you jobs. And again, I think there's another element of kind of almost learning how to relinquish control from certain elements of things. I've been so used to kind of, I'll set something up and I go, right, this is mine, I've built this, I'm in charge of this. And it's now learning how to kind of pass that on to someone else and say, right, you need to take this now and kind of, I've started this, you need to carry on with it and do your thing with it as well, which is something I'm still working on. But I think we'll certainly get there.
That's just showing progression again, isn't it? We're never stopping, are we? You're always looking to get better. And you're spot on, when you are accountable for something, and as things get bigger, you have to let go of different bits. And it's a struggle for everybody. Everybody... they're doing it slightly different to how I would do it. It doesn't mean it's wrong.
No.
And
sometimes it does, though.
Sometimes it does. But you have to let people make their own mistakes and find their own ways. And that's growth, isn't it? You can't, as you said just moments ago, your fingers can only go so fast. At some point, you need another set of fingers. But that set of fingers need to be communicated and given their own responsibilities, and that's where the complexity comes in, isn't it? So that's cool. Good. Oh, thank you, Shane.
That's all right.
Should we do some quick-fire questions?
I will.
Because something we haven't touched on is you are a bit of a foodie, aren't you?
I do like cooking,
Yeah. Good.
Are these going to be food-related
Well,
questions?
you'll find out in just a second, because the first question on the Quickfire Questions is, what is your favourite meal to cook?
Probably steak.
Steak?
Yeah.
Oh.
Reverse sear.
Okay, let's. For those people out there, if you haven't had dinner yet, tell us how to cook this perfect steak.
So So if I had all the money in the world,
Yes.
I would probably still go for like a ribeye.
Yes.
So this is the way that I do it. Bring it up to room temperature, salt and pepper.
Yeah.
You usually leave it for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
If you've got a thermometer that can go in the oven, then great. So plonk that in there, chuck it in the oven until it's about 50.
Okay.
And then get a cast iron skillet, pop the cast iron skillet on the pan, a little bit of butter, and then just take the steak out and then just sear it on both sides. So you get kind of there's no grey band with it.
Mm.
Like if you want it rare, set it to like 50, 55. It's going to be just that ever so slight pink in the middle, and then just take it out and then like as hot as you can get the pan, like the surface of the sun, and then just stick the steak on it for kind of 30 seconds aside. If it's got a fat cap, obviously do that bit as well. And so you get a nice crust, and then that's it, and let it rest for a few minutes, and then jobs are good.
And you're accompanied by.
So at the moment it's tender stem broccoli, because that is Sarah's go-to vegetable at the moment.
I love tender stem broccoli.
Yeah. Do you see what we've started doing? Not boiling it, but in a frying pan, fry it. And then you put a little bit of water, put the lid on, just whack. I'm just getting excited now.
Yeah, it's not the healthiest way, but if you absolutely drown it in butter, and then grill it, that's also quite good.
It goes very crispy.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a good question and good answer, and I'm starving now. If you could learn one new coding language in a day, what would it be?
Either PHP or I do know PHP, but I don't know it very well. But probably C++, because I don't know that at all.
Okay, see, that means nothing to me or nothing to Victoria, but I'm sure there's lots of techies out there that are going,
So C++ is what they use in like kind of game design.
Okay.
But it has added elements. If you're not looking to make games with it, you can use it in partnership with softwares like Blender. So you can make things like, top of my head, like 3D bed builders and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, we could do with that.
Yeah.
Okay. The third question: motorbikes or hikes?
I'm still going to say motorbikes.
Motorbikes.
I do like hiking as well.
Yeah.
Motorbikes are much more expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Motorbikes.
Definitely motorbikes.
Okay, motorbikes wins. What is the biggest lesson you've learnt through your Sussex Beds career?
That's really difficult. Sorry, say it again.
Okay. What is the biggest lesson you have learnt through your Sussex Beds career?
I suppose the biggest thing is just try not to do it all yourself, really.
Yeah.
I think, and I know I do a lot of things on my own.
Yeah.
But if you think about the massive team effort that went into, obviously, when we moved over to NetSuite, the amount of kind of cooperation. Like before that, I'd never really worked with John Raymond ever.
No.
And he was like, "This is going to be fun," and I was like, "Hopefully."
Yeah.
And it was great. I think
I'm not sure everyone thinks the same. It was fun, but it was. We got there.
We did, and I think it's just. And again, especially with things like the website and how we're trying to grow that, I think it's everyone trying to come together as a team to try and build something better than what they could have done on their own. Yeah. Like if you think back to when we did our web meetings, it was you, Darren and I. And if you look at what it is now and how much the shift has gone from kind of, well, that will look good, to actually kind of more data-driven analytics of actually what will work better, not just what we think looks better. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Good answer. And finally, your final quickfire question. What are you having for dinner tonight?
We're going food shopping this evening. So food shopping day is a beige day.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's normally because we finish work and we go food shopping.
And by the time you get
and by the time we get back, there ain't
it's
no
just
way I'm
beige.
cooking anything. So
No.
it's literally like
beige.
there's these gastro chicken nugget things that we get,
Okay.
which are really good.
Okay, so if we were asking that question tomorrow, let's imagine we're doing this podcast tomorrow. Shane, what are you having for dinner tonight? Don't know.
I don't know. Sarah knows.
I thought that might work.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've got Tuscan chicken somewhere on the menu this week, but it could be that.
Yeah, and I think before we finish, I think everybody needs to know your catchphrase.
Oué la plage.
There we are. See, everyone would have been waiting for that. Well, in the office anyway. Yeah. So.
There is a story behind. So the only reason I say Oué la plage is Sarah and I went on a cruise. And we were in France somewhere. I think it was Toulouse, maybe.
Yeah.
And where the boat docked and we got off, everyone was saying there's a really nice beach. And I was like, oh, okay. And I couldn't see a beach anywhere. And I Googled how to say where is the beach. And I would just go up to people and go, excusez-moi. And they would go, oui. And I would say, oué, la plage. And then they would just say things and gesture. And I'd go, great, thanks very much. And just walk in the general direction that they gestured until I got lost.
Yeah.
And then I would ask the next person and go, excuse me, oué, la plage. And then they'd go, and I'd go that way for a bit. And eventually we found it. And we had about 30 minutes there before we ran out of time and had to go back to the boat.
There we go. Did you know that, Vic? You did. There we go. I've learned lots today. Germany, born in Germany, and the story behind the catchphrase. Well, there we go, Shane. That's the end of our podcast.
There we go.
Thank you for joining us, and thank you for the insights. Before we go, I just need to tell everybody there's new episodes dropping every single Wednesday, so don't forget to tune in. And if you need or want more unfiltered business talk, you can find us on Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn at An Unorthodox CEO. Thank you for watching or listening or whatever you're doing. If it's good morning, if you're waking up in the morning and listening to us in the morning, if you're walking the dog or on the beach, if you're on the beach or searching for the beach, you are oué the plage, then thank you for listening. And if you're tucking yourselves up inside your Sussex bed, thank you and good night. Bye-bye. Woo.